We're going to keep talking about health tech. We're going to welcome now Jorge Juan Fernández, who is from venture partner at Nina Capital, and he's going to give us a keynote on what this 2023 left us on this matter on healthcare, and also what to expect for next year that it's about to begin. So Jorge, please.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. I'm waiting for the clicker, so I cannot start. But I'll take the time to thank the organization to invite me once again this year, and also for the 10th year anniversary, which is a big event, but most importantly for the hard work done by the team, and that has put Barcelona high up in the ecosystem in Europe. Okay, so good work, and keep up the good work. So today I'm going to be talking about health tech and the year in review. So let's take a look at what happened in 2023, and let's take a look at what can happen in 2024. Okay. So if you are like me, you probably don't have enough time every week to read The Economist to keep yourself updated. Okay, and unfortunately, that's a problem, right? But there is a solution for that, and that's called the world ahead. Okay, the Economist every year publishes around end of November, beginning of December, a short magazine, 120 pages, called The World Ahead. These are the versions for 2023 and 2024, where basically they summarize what happened in the past year, and they take a look at what's going to happen in the next year. Okay, so it's really the type of thing that you can buy, and you can talk to lots of people, and make yourself like a smart person. So that's a little bit what I'm going to be doing today, because signals are talking, and usually what we hear is tons of different inputs, but we don't understand what's really happening behind the scenes, the things that are not being said in the open. Okay. So what happened? If there is only one thing that you need to keep for this presentation is these two slides. Okay, the type of thing that you can use for dinner tonight with your significant others. So we started 2023 talking about and thinking about ChatGPT, OpenAI, everything. This has gone through the whole year, of course. But in terms of healthcare, we started the year talking about a promising treatment for Alzheimer's. Remember that, Biogen? And we finished the year talking about obesity and weight loss medication. Quite a journey. Oh, that's an interesting one. I see things here that are not on the screen. That's technology. Okay. So, well, everything that I said is true. It's back on time. Okay, good. So there's a delay, 10-second delay. So we started the year, promising treatment for Alzheimer's. We finished it talking about obesity, quite a journey, okay? On the tech side, we started the year talking about digital therapeutics, DTX, DIGA, the Germans, we will copy, Europe will be the best place on earth. We finished the year talking about, running out of money and some bankruptcies on the space. Okay, so these are the two big items on the total. I have selected 7 topics. I'm going to be going through them and then putting up my predictions for 2024. So the first one, let's take a look at the tech titans, the Googles, the Amazons, and the likes. Okay, we really like to have winners, the Champions League winners, the Olympic Games winners. But what we've seen in healthcare with the tech titans is that there is no single winner, but there are emerging winners, so different winners in different categories, okay? If we take a look at Amazon, Amazon is the clear winner for cloud services, okay? Data from 2020 tells us that 40% of the market for cloud services in healthcare and life sciences goes to Amazon Web Services, okay? You see they have offer for providers, life sciences companies, genomic solutions, etc. And you have plenty of important companies already using their services. So big players there on the Amazon front. Amazon is the first and only vendor directly engaged in care delivery. That's very interesting, okay? Only in the US, that's true. But they started in 2018, if you remember, 6 years ago. That's pre-pandemic. They bought PillPack, the digital pharmacy in the US for $1 billion, not bad. And they, formed that joint venture with Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan and Chase called Heaven that they closed 3 years later. But they looked like they were lost, but not. They were really working on the backgrounds. And this year, they bought One Medical, a U.S. primary care chain, for close to $4 billion in all cash transaction, and they have set up different things, right? Today, if you are in the US and you are an Amazon Prime member, you can access a One Medical subscription for $9 per month or $99 for the whole year, okay? Not bad, okay? And you can add additional family members for $6 per month per family member or $66 per family member per year, okay? So, they are engaged in healthcare. Current internal information tells us that there is some difficulties inside and they're not making the progress that they're doing. And lots of people say that they have lots of money. As of late June 2023, they had $64 billion in cash in their balance sheet, so quite a lot of money. People are talking that they will acquire one of these three companies, either Doximity, Teladoc Health, or Hims & Hers, okay? Teladoc Health, we know it, they have their international operations here in Barcelona, okay? So that's for Amazon. If we take a look at Apple, their strategy is centered on health data collection, mainly through the Apple Watch, basically as the personal health journey, a companion for people, and also with the iPhone. iPhone as a way of gathering data in hospitals. They've been partnering with different hospitals, but their strategy is around collecting health data with their hardware. Keep in mind, Apple is the only hardware company of the 4 top tech titans in healthcare. If we talk about Microsoft, Microsoft is the company that, if we looked at them historically, the only place where we could see them in healthcare was on the desktop, basically the productivity applications, what we now call Microsoft or Office 365. So the email, the calendar, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. That was the only place where you can find them in healthcare. They've been doing some important bets on, of course, AI. They acquired Nuance, a conversational AI startup, for close to $20 billion this year. And as you know, they have important partnerships with OpenAI. Sam Altman was, some days working for OpenAI. Some days looked like he was going to be transferred to Microsoft, okay? So very importantly, they're integrating their advanced AI capabilities into healthcare. And then if we take a look at Google, Google is all over the place. Very interesting. They have things for consumers, for researchers, for caregivers, for everything. What is really interesting about these 4 is, compared to last year, is that I was able to find URLs for all of them related to healthcare. So all of them have a URL, which is Apple Health or Google Health or Health Microsoft or whatever, Very interesting, that's already for them. So as you can see, each titan, each tech vendor has a different thing at the core of their strategy, okay? Amazon, the cloud services, very important. They have entered the provision of care, but this is what it is at the core of their strategy. Microsoft, same thing. The cloud is very important, but they are coming from the productivity side. So it's more about offering, documents, productivity services, etc., through the cloud services, etc., and also, trying to get some business out of that. Google, of course, is a search company. They have done a lot of work in AI. They are all over the place, so that's an interesting one. And then, as I said, Apple is the only hardware company of the tech titans. Their strategy, relies on the hardware, Apple Watch, and the iPhone on the other side, okay? So these are the strategies. So there are winners, as I said, for the different segments. So if we talk about cloud services, Amazon is the clear winner. If we talk about productivity, Microsoft is the clear winner. If we talk about services provided by AI, I think the winner here will be Google. I'm not clear what war is Apple winning in healthcare yet, okay? So let's see for 2025. So my prediction for 2024 is that tech titans will continue to make more progress than the big pharma companies when we talk about health tech. That's the first thing. And my big bet for 2024 is going to be Google Health, okay? So you can keep me up to that in a year's time, okay? Let's move to the second one. Let's take a look at Big Pharma. To the other side, Big Pharma is still in discovery mode. No one has found yet their master plan for healthcare, okay? They have a lot of cash. Yes, they do. Numbers from mid-year, they say that they have 700 billion money, cash, ready in their balance sheets, ready for acquisitions and investments. However, what mainly they are doing partnerships, okay? So that's the first thing. If you want to take a look at what type of partnerships is Big Pharma doing, these people, Gallant Growth, they have set up this Pharmaceutical Digital Health Innovation Index as a method to take a look at the portfolios of digital health with pharma and biotech companies. They have looked into the top 25 biopharma companies, and they have these two metrics that they take a look at that. On one side, they call it strategic fit. You can see it here on the left, and then the other is called portfolio strength here on the right, okay? On the left, strategic fit, what it looks is into the number of partnerships announced over the 3 past years by these companies, okay? And as you can see here, the numbers are AstraZeneca, Roche, UCB Pharma, okay? Very interesting, these numbers are not present in the top 10 on the other side. Very interesting, because it looks like they're going for volume and not for quality, let's call it like that, okay? So what's the portfolio strength on the other side? We're talking here about the share of ventures using AI and the share of ventures that have a strong clinical evidence behind. And here you see that the winners are others. We're talking about Otsuka, Gilead, and Bristol Myers, okay? So you see that there is different things, but what is common behind them is that they are partnering, they are not acquiring, they are not investing, okay? Also bad news from the pharma side, the big pharma side. This year, 2023, Biogen closed their digital health unit. Okay, so that was interesting. It was launched in 2021. 3 years after, they closed it. Okay, of course, they say, yes, we'll continue working on digital health through partnerships, but still, they closed it. Novartis Biome, most of initial founding and leading team left already initiative. They're somewhere else. Looks like the initiative is currently being redefined. Okay, so very interestingly that way. So my prediction for 2024 with regards to Big Pharma is that despite all the cash that they have in their balance sheets, Big Pharma will continue to explore this space via partnerships. So no relevant mergers, acquisitions, or investments from pharma side in digital health. They will certainly invest heavily on biotech. Expect heavy investments from pharma with all this cash in biotech, specifically, thinking of obesity drugs and things like that, rare diseases. Take a look at those. Okay, in 2024. Let's go to number 3. What happened to digital therapeutics in 2023? That was the word of the year in 2022. What happened there, okay? So the interesting thing is we take a look at another metric here is the Digital Health 150. That's the CB Insights annual ranking for the most promising digital health startups in the world, okay? This is taking a world view, okay? So in 2022, it was Digital Health 150. In 2023, it was Digital Health 50, okay? I don't think that they got lazier. It's a matter of, the fact that things are getting more complex in the digital health space for healthcare, okay? So if you take a look at 2022, these are the 150. If you see in the middle, okay, you see that there is a category called digital therapeutics with 8 companies out of the 150. If we take a look at the 50 in 2023, there is no category for digital therapeutics. Okay, maybe it's behind in some of them, but this also brings a message to the table. Okay, also strong difficulties for the pioneers on the prescription DTX front. Peer Therapeutics, very commonly presented as the top prescription digital therapeutics company, entered bankruptcy April 2023. Okay, so basically they went public, SPAC deal, $1.6 billion, okay, after raising more than $400 million from VCs in the US, okay. Their assets were sold for $6 million to 4 bidders, okay. So not to 1 bidder, but to 4, right? So really like a total failure here, okay? Achille Interactive, little bit also suffering some difficulties. They have decided to move away from the change in business model, move away from prescription digital therapeutics into OTC, right? So, making customers pay and not business pay, okay? On top of that, they have reduced 40% their force, their sales force, okay, for that. So difficult times for them. Why is that? Because clinical evidence, it does not equal first reimbursement. They were really high-priced products, and insurers were not ready to pay for that in the U.S. market. Okay, interesting one. And the second, FDA approved does not mean or does not equate a healthcare professional approved. Okay, so there's two different things. So clinical evidence that does not equal reimbursement and adoption. Okay. If we move away from the digital therapeutics into the broader space of digital health, we also see some other bankruptcies. The more famous one is Babylon Health, the London-based startup, launched in 2013, went public in 2021. It was at some point valued at $4 billion, and they bankrupt again in August 2023. So it only took them 19 months from its IPO in October 2021 to its bankruptcy filing in May 2023, 18 months, okay, sorry, 19 months, okay, so that was a heavy, fast ride. Despite recent setbacks, there are also still some good news in the prescription digital therapeutics market. First one, as I can see, consolidation is starting to happen. So that's a normal thing in markets. People think that is crazy, but there's always a hype, and then there's a consolidation, and things go to the middle. That's a normal pattern in economics. Sidekick Health, this is a company from Iceland. They just recently acquired a company from Hamburg, from Germany, called Adir, which is the developer of a product called Sanadio. And Sanadio is the #1 DIGA prescription in Germany. And basically, it's, again, an obesity and weight loss drug. Okay, so I think it's getting time before Christmas to get into the obesity and weight loss program. So my prediction for 2024, at least one more of the front runners will bring bad news to investors and patients. I'm not clear to which one. I have a few options, but I'm going to keep it quiet here. But there will still be some success on the front side of digital therapeutics. However, I expect 2 big failures for every success. So still we'll see more failures than successes on the DTX front. Okay. Let's go to AI and generative AI. What is happening here? Have they reached the level of maturity able to transform medicine as a science and healthcare as an industry? What do we think? Well, it depends on who we talk to. Here, the previous panels were very clear about that. It depends who you talk to. This is from an article in the New York Times a couple of months ago. The title is very nice. The guy, is looking good. Nice pajarita. AI may someday work medical miracles, but for now, it helps only do paperwork. Okay, so first point of view. Second point of view, this is Dr. Ehrenfeld, president of the American Medical Association. He's very clear, 20% of physicians in the US are already using AI in their daily medical work. Not testing it, which I think it could be true, right? But using it in their daily medical work. Okay, I would like to see where he got these data from. But that's the second point of view. AI is already here. The third, of course, is taking a look at Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic, these guys are always doing the right things, okay? Mayo Clinic has AI applications before, during, and after the hospital stay, okay? Very important. I present here 6 cases, but they have tons of them, very, very interesting space. So AI is already in practice in hospitals, okay? And then the fourth point of view, of course, is yes, AI is here, but it's going to get even better. So this is Forward. Forward is a US primary care company from the US, basically, very futuristic one. They've just raised $100 million and announced their Care Pods, this thing in the middle, right? Which is like a box where you can have a medical consultation. It is AI-powered, but unlike other times, it's AI-powered, but there is clinical doctors behind, okay? So it's a hybrid healthcare, which for years I have said that this is going to be the future of healthcare. Membership starts at $99 per month, which is a little pricey, but hey, there you go, okay? In Europe, of course, we love regulations. We are always the first one. This is from last week. Everybody has talked about that, right? This is the first time worldwide that there is an agreement that will foster responsible innovation in Europe, okay? Well, the EU Commissioner, Thierry Breton, he's from France, he says, it's a launchpad for EU startups and researchers to lead the global AI race. The best is yet to come, okay? Let's talk in 5-10 years and see what happened here, okay? But basically, Europe, we don't create great tech. We are more accustomed to regulate the great tech coming from outside, okay? And that's a problem from us for the future. So my prediction for 2024 is very positive in this space, that despite some challenges, regulatory for sure, biases in algorithms that are already happening in the US, but AI and generative AI will continue to make progress, blurring the lines between humans and machines, and covering new possibilities for both patients and healthcare professionals. So we'll see lots of things happening. This is going to be a very, very crowded space in the next 12 months. Okay. Number 5, the investment space has expanded and diversified. This is just so complex to understand who invests in what. Okay. So let's take a look at private equity and venture capital worldwide. So if you take a look at private equity, very interesting. This is a big problem for the US. Okay, at least close to 400 US hospitals are owned by private equity firms, which only take care and look for money. Okay, or let's say profits, okay? If you take a look at that, a lot of those, right, serve rural populations. Very interestingly, last week, a US Senate committee launched a bipartisan investigation into private equity ownership of hospitals, okay? For the record, bipartisan means that both parties, Republican and Democrats, are involved. This in the US politics is unheard of for the last 10 years, okay? So it's really interesting to see that they have some commonalities looking into this, okay? And then if we take a look at venture capital, what has happened, the big news of the year has been this VC firm, General Catalyst, that they say that they will acquire a health system, right? So they will acquire a group of hospitals, right? Why they want to do that? They want to do it so they can test their technologies, they can test their investments, okay? Very interesting, okay? These guys, they know what they're doing. These guys invested in Airbnb, I'm sure you've heard of them, and they invested in Warby Parker as well, so I'm sure you've heard of them as well, right? So very interesting, you see very interesting movements here on the private equity and venture capital side, okay? Other groups are also moving into investment in healthcare. This is a landscape of the corporate venture capital in healthcare in the US, okay? And you can see the big portion of that is health systems, okay? The two more prominent ones are Kaiser Permanente Ventures and Mayo Clinic Ventures. Kaiser Permanente Ventures, okay? They have invested in more than 65 startups up to now for the last 20 years. Mayo Clinic Ventures, they have invested more than $300 million in more than 100 startups, okay? So these people, they are investing in healthcare as groups, okay? And also, we have other groups, these are medical associations. This is the American Hospital Associations. They have invested as LPs, as limited partners, in two venture capital firms. One is Jumpstart Nova, basically to invest in Black founders, okay, in healthcare. And the second is Steel Sky to invest in women's health startups, okay? So as you know, health equity is a big topic in the US, but the interesting thing here is that, organizations, medical organizations, they are becoming LPs in funds, okay? And also, these people, these non-profit organizations, they have, specifically large hospitals, they have large amounts of money. Philanthropy works very well there, that. They have these things called endowments, okay, which, let's say, they're very safe investments, let's put it this way. And basically, you can see here numbers, for example, St. Jude Hospital, St. Jude Research Hospital, they have invested $2.2 billion in hedge funds. Cleveland Clinic Foundation, they have invested $3.5 billion in hedge funds, okay? So these people, they have finance people, working for them to try to get profit out of their funds, okay? So my prediction for 2024 is going to relate a little bit only to the side of the venture capital firms. Some of these firms, the ones who raised their first fund, okay, they will not be able to raise their second fund. Okay, and that's an important one. A lot of people will do what we call B2B and B2C, which is back to banking or back to consulting. Okay, and there will be less VC funds than in recent years. The good ones will prevail, and that's a very interesting thing because people are doing very good work, and I think that deserves the mention. Okay. Number 6, hospitals are adopting new roles and becoming more complex organizations. That's very interesting. If we talk about famously Peter Drucker, the father of management, he was born in Vienna. And he said the hospitals are the most complex form of human organization that we have ever attempted to manage. If you've ever worked in a hospital, you know that. It's really, really difficult as an organization. Really, really the perfect definition of a complex system, right? On top of the traditional foundational missions of hospitals, which is taking care of patients, doing research, doing teaching, and also doing some innovation, we have investors, producers, okay? They are becoming investors and they're becoming producers. So they invest in money, competing, with the people that I just talked to you, and they are producing therapies, right? In this case, advanced therapies, competing with the traditional pharma companies, okay? They're becoming investors. In the US, 23 health systems, they have investment arms, okay? In Europe, 0 patatero. Okay, very interesting. Okay, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but this is a fact. Okay, the patatero is an opinion. Okay, number 2, hospitals are becoming producing of advanced therapies as well. Right, there are 32 FDA approved and 18 EMA approved cell and gene therapies, advanced therapies in the world. Okay, one of them is the CAR-T developed by Hospital Clínica San Juan de Déu, the first one to be approved by a regulatory agency. Okay, so very interestingly, we see things happening here. Okay, so my prediction for 2024 is that one large European hospital, or RTO, Research and Technology Organization, will launch their own VC fund to invest in their or other startups. Karolinska, Charité Berlin, maybe the Craig in London, we'll see. Okay, and the last one, cities are creating their own healthcare hubs. The main cities are structuring health innovation spaces around large hospitals. That's a very important one. 3 cases, Gothenburg, Paris, and Basel. Gothenburg, we have the GoCo Health Innovation City. We're talking about more than 200,000 square meters. If I'm not wrong, this is an old facility of AstraZeneca, okay, from the previous speaker. Future for Care, Paris. This is a joint venture between different private companies. A little smaller, 6,500 square meters. And then Switzerland, Basel, currently at 50,000. They have announced that they will move it into 115,000 by 2028, okay? We're lucky here. We have this new initiative called Health Biocluster between the 2 city councils, Esplugues and Hospitalet de Llobregat. Very interesting. We see that large hospitals are there, large research centers. So I think we have a good opportunity here to be really, really something important here in Barcelona metropolitan area for the future years. Okay, so with that, my last prediction that Berlin or Cambridge, not Oxford. Oxford doesn't have space, so Berlin or Cambridge will be the next one, the next city announcing large campuses for innovative startups and companies. Okay, so with that, I finish. As you know, prediction is a very difficult business with a very difficult business model behind. I might not be called next year, but I hope that, if I don't get one right, they still call me next year. So thank you very much and happy to talk to you at the coffee table.
Thank you, Jorge. That was really interesting. And yeah, we're looking forward to having you next year and see if what happens in 2024 match your expectations.